Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flickering Myth. As the final part of this big, epic video recording session, me and Alan are diving into Zack Snyder's Justice League. Thank you so much for joining me. Ooh, this is going to be a fun topic.
Mhm.
One, because I thought you would hate this more than you do.
Oh,
So,
no, I didn't. I didn't at all.
yeah, which is awesome. We're fully going to dive into the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer, which has been described as the final trailer, the first official one from Zack Snyder's mouth. There has been little mini trailers before,
Yeah.
usually in his 4:3 ratio, which that version is coming. He is doing a black and white 4:3 ratio cut of this eventually. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
you hate that
That's
less. You hate that more. It's a
it's
choice.
it's fine. I kind of I like the idea, but also why this?
Yeah,
What is that
I
going to
think
add to this?
Watchmen would look better in that.
Yeah, I like the idea of going back and being like, the aesthetically this was interesting and good, and just because we can move away from this doesn't mean we should just discard this entirely. So that I understand, but I don't know how it fits this.
I don't think it fits at all, but we have feelings. I very much enjoyed it. I want to know all of your thoughts first before I fangirl over this because I can talk about enough of this trailer. I've watched cut comparisons between the cuts already,
All
which
right,
those are gonna be fun to watch.
yeah. Uh right off the bat, and this isn't exclusive to this trailer, we've seen this character already in a couple other points, but do not like this dark side visually. I think it's terrible. I think it's bad. But in fairness, it's not just Zack Snyder doing that. People have messed up Darkseid in the comics for ever since Jack Kirby. like big, he's not supposed to be this big, like ripped, like wearing this insane armor, blah blah blah. Honestly, other people have done it a lot worse than Snyder has, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I would say
Dark
I
Side.
think he looks more in shape than he normally does. He doesn't look like this giant like roided out figure. He has some kind
Yeah.
of I'm not trying to like compliment Darkseid's hips or anything, but like I will say personally, I everyone knows I like Zack Snyder. I love Darkseid as a character, so I've
Mhm.
kind of accepted all versions of what he looks like. Just give me Omega beams one time, and I am happy because oh man, there's this one animated one with Supergirl, and she like uses his own Omega beams against him. It was like one of my favorite animated movie moments ever. I love this character. He's a little murky color palette wise. I think that's my
Yeah.
issue. He looks weird, like all
Ha-
one color.
have you ever read the original Jack Kirby Fourth World stuff?
No, I have not. As
I
someone who likes like the big Bardas and all of them weird ass characters, I need to get into
I
Kirby's.
highly recommend it, especially like I think other the some of the other characters have been portrayed fairly well in times preceding, but like Darkseid in that is frightening without being frightening visually. Like he's frightening
Mm,
because he's frightening.
yeah.
like there's a coldness and like a strangeness to him that it's not about physical imposition. He is a bit physically imposing, but he's not the most physically imposing.
Well, especially when I figured out, I don't know if it's that era of him that he it only makes this form so we can see him. Like he's this kind of like the true dark sideness is like this weird energy that's because I've always seen him fight Thanos stuff and like nerd stuff, and they're like he would whoop Thanos' ass. Like he is like an actual like crazy present being. Like he's a
Yeah.
pretty cool character, and I like it. I'm glad to see him here because you can't do Steppenwolf, you can't do the Mother Box invasion without Darkseid,
Yeah,
which
it
is
was nonsense.
it felt so weird, and I'm glad to see because my biggest thing here is everyone's like this looks like the same movie, and I'm like I don't think you watched 2017's Justice League then because these look completely different. Like
Visually it does look completely different. As
yeah, they have
far
the
as
same shots and stuff, but
Yeah, but as far as this trailer goes, like this trailer looks like I know what's going to be different about this.
Hmm.
You know what's going to be different about this. We're following this. But looking at this trailer versus like if you're somebody that doesn't follow all of this and you saw Justice League in 2017 and you watch this and you're just like, there's a couple extra scenes. What's the fucking difference? What
Yeah.
story are they selling me? Why should I watch it? I thought this trailer itself would uh, tonally define itself in a way that maybe that other Justice League didn't. This has like less jokes in the trailers, but
Yes, yeah, which is just lies. I
yeah,
I think this. What I will say tonally is I do think it feels like the follow up to Batman v Superman more than Justice League did. I think
yeah,
this feels in the same family because this is supposed to be directly. I mean, they start off with the Doomsday stabby stab of Superman at the beginning of this.
yeah.
Which I mean, I have to go rewatch Batman v Superman soon. I love that movie.
I'm
That
gonna
end
rewatch it soon as
that
well.
end battle is just it's a delight. Even though Doomsday is hideous,
Oh, I fucking hated
I
it,
think it's a I think it's a
but I'll
fun fight.
revisit it.
I think it's a three-way battles are hard to do, and I think they hilariously throw Batman to the side as you would in that fight. Like
Yeah,
he's truly like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm like,
yeah,
good, please let's not him pretend he knows what he's doing. Um, I do yeah I do think there's a bit of a tonal shift, and I agree with you. I know what shots are different, like the Iris West. There was no
hmm
Iris West in the original.
no,
In this one, you can see the jail scene with Flash and his dad, but we don't get that little weird intro where he drew on that guy. In that one, that's a Whedon edition. You can
yeah,
tell.
Jesus,
So yes, we do go to the jail scene. So there is going to be things in common. I'm not saying this movie's completely different, but we talked about it in our little chat before. This is a good lesson of giving two directors basically the same material
yeah,
and what they do with that material, because it's I mean, this goes down to the lighting. The Whedon brightened up everything in his.
yeah.
Is and that at the end of the his cut, it's all that weird red sky stuff. Now it's just a normal dark, doomy looking sky, which isn't the most visually striking, but it feels like, again, these are the differences. These are just color palette differences, and I think that's what I'm walking away from this is this looks completely different to me, and it blows my mind that it does.
Yeah, visually, this is definitely a completely different take. You know, I don't like that either of them are just like make the color happen in post, you know? like,
Yeah, yeah,
like I mean, I understand that to an extent, but just like I, it's like they just like playing with filters.
hmm
you know, like is that what being a director is? I can do that in Adobe Premiere.
I mean, Snyder does like his color palettes. I think everyone says he likes the absence of color. I'm like, no, he likes colors. It just he chooses colors at one time. I always go back to like what Dr. Manhattan looked like in Watchmen. That is such
Mm.
a bright color compared to those more boring, bleak backgrounds.
I think he has
And then Ozymandias had a rich vibe to him. It was very like nice colors there. So
I don't really like the desaturated look, and I am on record as not a big Zack Snyder fan, but he is doing something with color, and he always knows what he's doing with color. So when people want to just be like, "Oh, he's shit. He doesn't know what he's just desaturating. He's just doing this." Like he's making choices. He's
yeah,
making some very deliberate choices, and he knows why he's making them. It doesn't always work for me, but he's he is doing his job. Okay.
yeah,
Like,
that's one thing. From his snap zooms to his color palettes, I don't worry about Zach as a visual director. My always
yeah.
issue is him with talent, him with
Yes.
actual actors.
Yeah.
That's why I like when he uses people like Jeremy Irons and Ben Affleck, who are like, I don't need your notes,
Yeah. I don't
thank
need
you.
you. Kind of. Yeah.
And I think
Like
he needed more of those actors. I think he needed more actors who are like, "Oh, I'm fine." I think
he
that elevate your
he
material.
I think he spent so long working in kind of genre bullshit, which I mean he did and he still is. But I think he didn't really. he didn't really catch on to the fact that you can get really good actors for genre bullshit now.
Or
Like,
if he does, he puts them in supporting, like Amy
yeah,
Adams and Jesse Eisenberg as supporting characters. Where Ben Affleck, I think, is his biggest hire because he likes his Gal Gadot. Jason Momoa is a unproven. Aquaman was really one of his first big
to,
features. I mean, because there was the
to
Conan movie and shit, but
yeah, that's true. To me though, that's actually the way to do it. I mean, that's what Nolan did, and that was
yeah,
a great choice. Like, get because as much as great as Christian Bale is in those Batman, I mean, as great as Christian Bale is as an actor in those Batman movies, he has like almost nothing to do. Like, he
Mhm.
has a few like really good emotional beats that he does really well. But you
Was
could
the
have gotten
Watchmen cast well known?
no,
Because I'm
no,
trying to
like
think. Because I was like Patrick Wilson. I don't think we liked him until I didn't really know him until the. I didn't know he was Night Owl until way later when I was like, oh, the
yeah,
guy from the Conjuring movies and stuff.
he had done some work. Jackie Earl Haley wasn't really much of anybody then. I think the biggest name in that was either Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Billy Crudup. Like,
And Billy Crudup has always kind of been, he's a good actor, but yeah, I
yeah,
think Jeffrey
like
Dean Morgan was the biggest part of the movie, which I guess
yeah,
the intro is makes that movie a little bit more interesting too. I didn't
yeah,
realize that they kind of like psychoed that movie a little bit, and we get rid of our biggest name.
yeah,
He's in that movie a lot, but still.
yeah.
Um, I might need to watch that soon. Oh, but yeah, no,
It's
I'm
bad.
curious of yeah, I'm curious of this cast because I'm glad to see we're gonna get more Amy Adams that isn't
hmm
just having to do because I hated what they did with her in Justice League. It was
I,
very she had to play the mom again. Like she
yeah.
like oh I'm so sad for you. Where again I know you don't like her particularly in Batman v Superman,
No,
but she had okay because I was
uh,
she has
uh,
agency in that movie. Like she's
yeah, I don't want it misconstrued that I don't like Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams. I
yeah.
do not like Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
No, but
that is
I do
that
think
is
I look at
constantly my
her
hill.
in Batman v Superman or even in Man of Steel where she's so gung ho on
Mhm.
things and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go into this ice thing. And I'm like, don't do that. Okay, you're stupid. And in Batman v Superman, she's actually like more the investigator than the two investigators.
Yeah, it's
But yeah,
true.
I to see her in Justice League as just the sad my husband's dead, I thought was so stupid and
Oh
really
yeah, oh yeah. She was absolutely neutered in that. Like,
and same thing with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. In this one, you just in those shots where she's researching Darkseid, I think she would be the one to have the most history because of the Amazonians knew who he was and all that. I'm
mhm,
curious to see the big war scene because it was teased in um the Joss Whedon one, but that war
mhm,
scene where we see the past, where we're seeing the Amazonians, I'm curious if there's gonna be more Green Lantern in that as well. That's supposed to be the biggest surprise in this movie is a Green Lantern.
hmm.
Um,
We'll see.
and he contacted Reynolds as the redemption, as hey, let me save you. Well, I don't think that's the thing. I thought, but yes, that has been
Reynolds
a rumor.
Reynolds was I have nothing against Reynolds. He was always bad casting for Hal Jordan. So
Yeah, I don't like Hal Jordan. I feel like Snyder would have done John Stewart if anything.
I feel like he should have. I feel like that's what most of us grew up with at this point. It's just
That seems to be his
Hal Jordan.
wheelhouse too. Is the 2000s ish DC. I mean, I was just telling you I watched Justice League War, which feels
Mhm.
like a Zack Snyder movie. Like that
Yeah.
movie feels like it as well. So that's that kind of era. Yeah, I'm. So was there a part of this trailer you really liked or really stood out?
No. um just some of the shots. But not in a bad way. There's nothing
Yeah.
that like that made me be like, "Oh shit, I can't wait to see that." Like, but like overall I looked at most of it and I was just like, "Okay, I want to watch this." Nothing was like, "Holy shit, that looks great." But all of it just kind of amounted to being like, "This is selling me." Except
I, well, I think
we'll talk
before we
about
get
the
into what I think we both are gonna accept,
hate. Yeah.
I really like Black Suit Superman. I think Henry Cavill pulls that off.
He
I
does.
I don't know if I don't know if I could have ever seen Brandon Roth or Christopher Reeve in that kind of outfit. I think Cavill has a presence in that. I think he looks so good. I also think it fits. Like he is a kind of in mourning a little bit.
Yeah, it fits, and also, but also like,
At least he doesn't have the
I
mullet, but
don't
maybe I
know.
wanted the mullet. Maybe I
Yeah,
wanted the mullet.
maybe we all wanted the mullet. Anybody ever think about the mullet? But I don't know. I feel like I like Henry Cavill a lot, and I think he has the potential to be a really good Superman. But I feel like his Superman has always been a dour Superman. So
Hmm.
seeing him in a black suit is just like, you should have just been in this suit the whole time. Who cares? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Now let's talk about. I'm following our Facebook group, and Tom Beasley, who is a
Mm.
great person on this thing, just commented on the trailer and said that Joker stuff can jump off a cliff. Let's talk about that Joker
That
stuff.
Joker stuff can't jump off a cliff. Tom is 100% on point with that, because fuck that. Honestly, visually, I like that Joker a lot more in motion,
Yeah,
and the way it's
yeah.
shot there. I was kind of like, I'm kind of on
With his like
board.
SWAT jacket and stuff, and like the
Yeah,
badges, I liked his
I was
look. I
like,
thought he
I'm
looked.
because when those pictures came out, I was just like, that's, I don't like the David Ayer Suicide Squad Joker. I think there's some really bad choices in there, but there are choices in there,
Yeah,
as where this, I'm just like, I think we've done this already,
yeah. He looks Heath Ledgery.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people like that style of Joker, so I
I
understand Snyder isn't dumb for giving people what they
No,
want.
I specifically don't like that style of Joker. I like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah,
We might disagree on that a little bit, but I like it because it's there and it's in that moment, and it works in that movie. It works in its context. But just like making that everybody's idea of the
yeah.
Joker is bizarre.
My favorite part of that movie is him in drag. That's the most Joker I got that whole movie when he's as
Yeah,
the nurse. That's the
yeah,
Joker I like. I like he's crazy, he's weird, he's gross, but he's also a goddamn clown. I need him
yeah,
to be a clown sometimes. And
yeah.
Heath Ledger was a little clowny at times, but also the other side, or sorry, Jared Leto was a little clowny at times. He was
Mhm.
also the mob boss, and I love mob boss Joker. I don't think we get
Yeah,
enough of it in pop culture. The comics have done that a lot. I mean, with the
yeah.
that one comic book with the I love where you're hearing it from the Joker's assistant's point of view. Um it's this
Yeah, the
Frost, I think his
Brian
last name. Um
yeah, the Brian
yes.
Azzarello, Lee Bermejo one
I
Joker.
always like that because we got to see Joker in that capacity and like
Mm,
the day to day his thing, and I thought Leto did that well. Here, oh man, in context, I think it's placed at the end of the trailer very smartly as the talking point. It's in context of the trailer, it should have been when he was talking about the nightmare sequence. That was my biggest
yeah.
anger. I was like, he mentions, "Oh, I had a nightmare." They show the nightmare stuff, but we don't show the Joker there, and I'm like, "Oh, because you wanted it for the end stinger,
Yeah.
making the joke about society."
We live in a society. We
He
live
that
in a society.
he did that to troll everyone though, like that, because this was the only thing filmed after
Uh-huh.
this thing. Most of this filmed was in this movie was filmed originally. This was that,
Mhm.
and allegedly the Green Lantern stuff is filmed. If that is in here, that has been filmed later as well because he got 70 million for reshoots. This Joker stuff is part of this. I
Yeah, you say
think
that as if it makes it okay.
no, I do think he used it as a joke though. I it feels so
But
meme.
it's yeah, and that's why it sucks, because
Yeah.
like otherwise, like, you're being sold a movie that is like deadly fucking serious. Like, he wants you to get on board with this fucking Twilight of the Gods fucking raging mythological huge shit, and then you're just gonna throw a fucking meme at me? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't love it. I think I feel like I understand why it's there. And allegedly this Joker in this nightmare sequence is a little self-aware. I'm not going to say fourth wall breaking, but he is a little aware that I think he says something to Batman like we don't have much time together, kind of in reference to this is our only one scene together that we're ever going to have probably.
Yeah,
Um so
contextually it might end up working out. I'm hoping it does, but
no, I hate
I
it.
don't
I
know
hate
who.
if you watch that trailer with captions, it's literally like in a society we live in a society as the title card is there, and I'm like, that's not what I want. I want like a bomb, or I want a noise.
I'm gonna screenshot that.
Oh, it's all over Twitter. I saw it today, and I'm like, no,
Oh,
Snyder.
then I'm just gonna find that screenshot and share it
But
around.
boy, has
That's
that been a big
hilarious.
conversation part. He is not dumb. He cut that trailer to have that as the end stinger,
It's
and
true. We're fucking talking about it.
yeah, because if that was in the middle of the trailer, maybe it would have got lost in the shuffle. But I just
Yeah.
laugh that it's there, and I like to see these two characters together. Though I was always curious to see Affleck's and Leto together because I think they are
Yeah.
comparable actor wise in a weird way. Not to give Jared Leto too much credit, but not to like lower Affleck. I feel like they meet in the middle somewhere. Um,
Yeah. I like Affleck more. I do not like Jared Leto. I do not think he's a very good actor. I don't know if I've ever really liked him in anything other
I
than
loved
getting
him in the
killed in
early
American Psycho.
I loved him in the early 2000s. I loved Requiem for a Dream. I
I
loved
hate
him in
it.
that.
Fucking hate it.
I thought he had something. I love him in Fight Club as the pretty boy. Angel
Mm,
Face, he gets the hell beat out of him.
yeah.
So
He's
there was
inoffensive sometimes and in the
yes, he's
background,
been in
but
stuff, but ever since we decided to make him like awards contender Leto, like after Dallas Buyers Club,
no.
I've been done. But I like his Joker. I don't like the Joker, so for me to be like, it was a new take, at least not nuanced. It's a new
Yeah,
take.
I think performance-wise, his Joker, we didn't get to see a lot of it. My real problem with that was the damage tattoos, and the ha-has, and the it's really bad. Some really poor choices. But
Any
at least
other
he's getting another shot at it, I
Yes,
guess.
and from what some internet reporter has said, is his version is the way to getting more of this universe.
Mm,
That he has come out and said he will only return to Joker ever again if it's with Zack Snyder.
mm,
I like that they get along; they fit. But yes, I'm curious because this feels like an Elseworld story, which I've always felt Zack Snyder's movies have been in the. I feel like I
I
would
mean,
put my Zack Snyder movies on Earth 3. I just made up an Earth for DC. I don't know if that. I'm sure some nerds like this is
I,
actually Earth 74. You moron. I'm like, oh, okay.
somebody has that has
But
that in
yeah,
their
this
back pocket.
this has always felt Elseworlds to me. So I'm
Mm,
hoping we can always, I put it in our notes, use this as the Elseworlds when, we do 3 DC movies that are like Wonder Woman 84 and no one really hates or loves. It's just there. I would
well,
like
some
them to
people
return.
hated Wonder Woman
That is true.
84.
I would like to see this be the thing that they return to maybe every 4 or 5 years. Do let Snyder play a little bit. I think would
Yeah,
be interesting.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, honestly, as somebody that is a DC Comics fan, I've had to view almost every movie as Elseworlds. Like, as much as I really like the first two Christopher Nolan Batmans, like, who the fuck is Rachel Dawes? Like, what is half of this shit? As a Batman fan, I look at a lot of that and I'm like,
How's
that's
Liam
not what I
Neeson
ordered.
Raj Cool? Like
Yeah.
I not who I would have cast as that. He's phenomenal
Yeah.
in that film, fine, but
Yeah, he's
like
great, but
not who.
like
Okay, also, how did he birth Marion Cotillard? I don't know, like how that that just doesn't feel like they know they're related.
yeah.
But yes, no, and that's I've always kind of but I love DC for that. I love that you can just kind of scapegoat sometimes and be like, it's Elseworlds. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
You can't get mad. This
I
well, it's
mean,
not proper Superman. It's Elseworlds.
fucking Tim Burton's Batman is so off base, like and certainly Schumacher's is something. I don't know.
I
Schumacher's actually probably has more grounding than Tim
will
Burton's
say
does in the
Schumachers are
comics.
from at least the whatever world Adam West lived in. Those
Yeah.
are the same. Whatever else
Yeah.
world has that.
Yeah.
Um, that's good. I'm glad you are positive about this. I mean, we're about a month away from this now,
We'll
so
see how it goes in a month. But so far,
yeah,
I'm
I think you're gonna be on
cautiously
it. Yeah.
optimistic. Yeah. At worst, I will shrug my shoulders and be like, same as I did with like as much as I might be like, pegged as a Snyder hater. I watched Man of Steel and went, it was pretty good. I watched Batman v Superman and went, 7 out of 10.
I love that rating. I'm that's one of the most fair BVS ratings I've ever heard. Because like
Yeah.
I would call that movie a 10 out of 10 because I'm a moron, but I
Yeah.
realistically I would put it like an 8.5 at my
Oh,
heart. But
as
I
a,
don't think it's the 3 people would normally give it.
no, as I was coming out of that movie, I had friends of mine who were excited for the movie texting me and being like, "Biggest piece of shit in the world! I can't believe they did this." And I was like, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like,
I truly don't think Martha puts it under a 5. Like I'm
no.
sorry, that scene.
Martha is like bagged on. Martha makes so much more sense than anybody ever gives it credit for. It's maybe not delivered the best, but it makes sense.
From my brain to your mouth, that is exactly how I feel. I never thought that scene was bad. I was just like, I get what they're doing. It's just I mean, I think it's the robot voice. Why did you say that name? I think it's that. I think it's
Yeah.
again Zack Snyder's unintentional camp. He is such a campy director, and I don't think he knows he's a campy director. I think
I
he
feel like maybe he
he's leaning
does.
into it more now. I feel like again we live in a society that is camp. He did
Yeah.
not put that in 18 years after filming this first Justice League without saying, I have been on the internet after Joker 2019. I understand, or 2020, whatever.
I think we might at some point be having the conversation of why is Zack Snyder one of the only people who understands 21st century camp and not camp as a nostalgia practice.
Wow, that is a great piece because again, the opposite of like I don't think Nolan understands camp at all, and I think he is the least. He is movies need camp.
Yeah.
Inception, I think, is the campiest. Tom Hardy isn't a movie that's not Inception.
Tom Hardy is almost always in a movie that nobody else is in. No,
I know don't know how you feel about his Bane, but he has some lines in that where he was just like, "What a beautiful voice!" blows up the stadium. I think
he
that's one of
isn't.
my.
No, but I wish everybody else had gotten into the same movie that Tom Hardy's Bane was in.
Oh, good way of. Let's wrap this up there. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining me
Thanks for having me.
for this fun Zack Snyder conversation. Hopefully, the people enjoy this because this is hyped. If love or hate, this is one of the most hyped things I've seen in a
Yeah.
very long. This is almost like Avengers Endgame level of like everyone is talking about this, has an opinion. I love to see it. We need more of this in pop culture. We need more things that aren't just that's there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a minute.
All right, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to Flickering Myth. Comment down below. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you again, Alan, for joining. This has been a fun conversation. All right,
Yeah.
everyone, comment down below.